Educators who teach students with autism spectrum disorder in Durham Public Schools have a difficulty facilitating classroom discussions. This is because some students answer questions preemptively, leaving others excluded from conversation. Julie Morin of Durham School of the Arts needs a system to ensure that all students can participate in classroom discussions.
Based on consultation with our client and looking at our user-defined scales that we made, it appears that our final product met all of our set design criteria. It reduced disruption in the classroom, was easy and intuitive for the students to use, the setup time for the system was relatively short, this device was engaging and fun for all of the students, and it was durable and would have a decent lifetime that would make it usable in the classroom.
Additionally, for our project, we set certain design constraints. The first being that the turn-taker system had to be effective in at least a group of 3. There had to be indicators for the students for when they could buzz and for the teacher to be able to determine who is buzzed. The cost of the device had to be less than $150, and the device had to weigh less than 3 pounds. Each of these design constraints were met.
This is the final design solution which we developed from our final design criteria. It's made up of 2 separate components, a teacher box and a student box. The student box is made up of 6 individual LEDs, 3 red, 2 yellow, and 1 green. Red representing time to think, yellow representing that your time's almost about to finish, and green representing that you can go ahead and press that button to go ahead and figuratively raise your hand and be called on. Inside, we actually see that it's controlled by an Arduino, powered by a 9-volt battery, and also contains a PCB, which we custom made and printed and shipped to us from Washington. As for the connection to the teacher box, it's connected through an Ethernet cable and an Ethernet port, and to signal that that you just press that single LED button, and the teacher can just go ahead and see that that button has been pressed to go ahead and call on you. As for the teacher box, it contains 3 Ethernet ports for 3 separate boxes. It contains 3 potentiometers, which can be adjusted to change the amount of time it takes for this timer to go. So if we go and put it all the way to the right, you'll see that the timer is a lot longer than it originally was. And then, of course, these 3 are the reset buttons, which reset each question after it's done. Inside of this teacher box, we see another custom-made PCB, which essentially just makes the wiring a lot easier to be done. And all of these boxes were 3D printed in these 3D printers which you see behind me, as well. And for their dimensions, this box is 4 inches by 3 inches, and this box is 4.5 inches by 3 inches.
This is a demonstration of how our device would work. The purpose is to individualize the learning experience for each student with ASD. So today, Lauren is taking more time to think, so I've set her device to take longer to light up. And Leaf, on the other hand, will have a shorter thinking time and a faster device. So once I click these reset buttons, I'll ask them a question about our reading, and then once the lights turn green, they can buzz in and I choose the student I want to answer today in order to include all students in our discussion. What did you think about the reading today? Yes, Lauren, would you share with the class?
Moving forward, we would like to establish RF connection to make our system wireless, add a toggle power on and off switch in order to make our device easier to turn off, and then create 2 more full units in order to accommodate Julie Morin's entire classroom.